Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we're headed to Atlanta Motor Speedway. As you see the playoff grid, briefly checking that out right there. Of course, all different winners to start off the season. William Byron, Herbst, Bell, Chastain, with Bell being the most recent winner here as we were landing in the Hampton area now, ready to roll. We have a new paint scheme on the car here, and again in the 16 car. That's 2 episodes in a row. Do you guys remember Lation? Well, he made an absolute banger. He used to make some paint schemes for me back in the OG NASCAR Heat 5 career mode a couple years ago, and now here we are. Wow, a couple years ago. I hate saying that. Anyways, you see that beautiful paint scheme right there. It's based off of AJ Allmendinger's 16 car, basically. It's very similar here as we would kick off practice. I unfortunately did not have the mod in the game yet to make plate type racing here, but hopefully by the time we get to Atlanta 2, which is not even that far away, that's only like 12, 13 episodes away, we'll have that mod in. So, nonetheless, we're coming off of a career best finish in Phoenix inside the top 15. Things kind of starting to look a little bit better after what was a really rough start to the season. You know, we didn't do good in Daytona, didn't do good in Auto Club, did terrible in Vegas, and we stepped up our game, though, going in to Phoenix now, as we are hoping to have a little bit more pace here again in Atlanta to just, well, quite simply just continue to build on some momentum there. You see the practice laps, but of course getting ready to qualify. Now qualifying is very difficult in Atlanta. It's not going to replicate what our race pace is going to be. So to put it pretty straightforward, we are very likely to qualify dead last year in Atlanta, but like I said, that's not going to replicate what the pace is of the car in the race. We're actually going to have some decent speed, I reckon, in the race here. Now Atlanta, a pretty fun track to drive, mostly full throttle if you have clean air. If you're on the draft, it's a little bit different. If you're just around other cars, you're definitely going to have to do some lifting, but through 3, out of turn 4, just kind of keeping it to the inside as much as we can. Of course, open up the exit a little bit there through the tri-oval. We're going to cross the stripe, and it's going to be exactly like I said, 40th place, dead last. Not ideal, but it is what it is. There's not much you can do about it here in this 4-star car for Colleague Racing. As you can see, the rest of that qualifying order. Big name in 33rd, Martin Truex Jr. Very rough qualifying effort there for the Joe Gibbs driver as we wait on news on his future. We do have, I'm hearing rumors, a Cup veteran and champion with an announcement on the way in the next episode to 3 or so, somewhere in that area, so stay tuned. Hamlin, Chastain, the front row with Reddick, Larson, Bubba Wallace joining them in the top 5. We as well had trucks back this weekend here. You'll take a look at the finishing order. Ty Majeski was able to hold off Zane Smith at Atlanta late in the day to pick up the victory, so GG's to Zane Smith. Now, as you can see, the rest of the finishing order, Xfinity Series as well, as usual, in town in Atlanta as well. We saw Cole Custer win over JJ Yaley, who won in the last episode. JJ Yaley apparently is popping off in the Xfinity Series here. So yeah, Custer, though, to victory lane in Atlanta, looking pretty hot now as we're ready to race on Sunday. We'll send it over to the Fox Sports booth and get ready to race.
It's Hotlanta time, NASCAR fans. Welcome everyone to Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've seen 4 winners in 4 races so far. Mike and Clint, who do you have your eyes on today?
Thanks, Chris. I've got my eyes on that one of Ross Chastain to become a first repeat winner. He had very fast and consistent lap times in practice.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. He's not on pole, but I'm telling you, that one car is going to be the car to beat today. Ross is him.
Am I hearing properly that Clint said on the broadcast that Ross is him?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what that means. I think we're too old up here.
We're ready to roll. Ross is him. I mean, the enthusiasm out of Boyer's voice, that's most we've heard since we've had his AI in here. But we're ready to roll. In Atlanta, as you can see, Ty Dillon posted some fast laps in practice. Truex, he's not having much speed at all. We saw it in qualifying, but there's your pole winner, his teammate in the FedEx Toyota Camry of Hamlin. They talked about it. Chastain looking very fast. He's not on pole, but he is on the front row. So, I mean, next best thing, I guess, here as we're ready to roll from Atlanta Motor Speedway. now, as the green flag is going to fly. It's 65 laps of racing here on this colleague number 16 machine. We have not Chandler Smith in the 13 car today. We have AJ Allmendinger in place of him now in that 13 for a few races, including the road course coming up at Mid-Ohio. So exciting times ahead, as I'm really looking forward to road courses in general this season, because I myself think we're going to really excel. We saw it in the last playthrough before it got taken away by MSG because they broke the game with the 2022 mod. So that's going to be no different. We're going to be strong in the 2023 version as well. But we're going to have Shane Van Gisbergen coming up here, the, of course, Australian V8 Supercars driver. He's not Australian, I'm not saying that, I'm well aware, don't call me out. But as well, I think we're going to have Kostecki, another Supercars driver, coming into the series later, as it sounds like he's going to be in the Cup Series race at Indianapolis Road Course. But of course, we also have Kimi Räikkönen coming up, and that will be in the first road course at Mid-Ohio, not Coda, because we don't have Coda. I forgot to change Zane Smith to a Ford. I'm sorry. I will fix that now. Speaking of fixing things, I just fixed the 42 into the outside wall. Big crash there on the exit of turn 4. Gragson, hard impact now, as I completely destroyed him on the exit of 4, just drove up into him. That was 100% my fault. Huge accident on just the opening couple of moments of this race, and I can tell you right now, Noah Gragson's not happy, and you're going to see it at the end of the episode, so stay tuned on that here. Now, we're going to get back underway here, so caution very early, nobody comes into the pits, but that 42 got absolutely destroyed, and there he was, just behind me. So my first, I feel like I could say, genuine rookie mistake, I guess, in the 16 car. I wasn't even trying to clear myself. I just kind of glided up into the 42, and I really don't know what I was doing. Like, looking back at the footage, you can rewind it again. I genuinely don't know what the heck I was trying to do right there. I just went up the track and took him out. So sorry, Noah, I guess, but you can see up ahead, it's Hamlin, Chastain, 1-2, just like the start of this race. I myself am passing Truex, passing the 34 McDowell. We have entered the top 30 already here. Chastain's making a pass on Hamlin for the lead. We only have 14 laps here in stage 1. Stage 1 is quite a bit shorter than both the other stages of 2 and 3. So yeah, stage 1's going to just fly by basically here. So I was trying to get as many positions as I could, of course, before the stage was over. We're going 3 wide in the middle here. The 41 of Priest on the inside, Stenhouse in the 47 on the outside, and that Chevrolet Camaro. We would get past them both and run down this next group of cars that had Cindric, Austin Dillon, my teammate of Justin Haley, Brad Kozlowski, a couple of Hendrick cars with Byron and Bowman as well. Ty Dillon, who was running some fast laps in practice, is fading backwards, but I was surprised by the pace in the 24, but it looked like to me the 24 had some speed in it, but it was his teammate Alex Bowman who didn't have speed. Byron was stuck behind him, so Bowman, of course, not really helping that 24, and he was kind of stuck behind him. So Bowman had a decent qualifying effort, but not showing very good race pace, and well, that was proven because here I am in a 4-star car passing a Hendrick car. So yeah, that 48 Ally Financial Chevrolet definitely struggling, as with a couple of moments to go in the stage, a caution's going to come out and actually end the stage early. As you can see, the top 10 on the board, and actually Denny Hamlin was out in front of Chastain, Larson, Bell, Harvick, your top 5, Almirola, Bubba Wallace, so getting stage points with Reddick, Logano, and Elliott as well. All 23-11 cars in the top 11, Kurt Busch being the lowest one right now. Everybody comes into the pits for 4 tires and filling it up on field. Looks like Connor Daly was the reason for the caution. Now, as well, Mid-Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, is the next episode. We will be having Jimmy Johnson in the car for that race as well in the 84, but we're back underway here for stage number 2. We were able to pass my teammate of AJ Allmendinger in the pit lane. Now, if you look, you will notice that Allmendinger currently in that 13 car, it's the Chandler Smith car, rookie stripes and everything. I just currently don't have like a Allmendinger version for that car, so if I do get one, I could maybe whip up one myself. I'm thinking of just quite simply keeping the same car, just taking the stripes off and putting Allmendinger's name on it, to be honest. So that's what I might do. We'll wait and see, as that's something that I can easily do on my own time. Daniel Suarez in that black and pink Tootsie's machine here as they head down the front straightaway. He's moving forward now. Of course, his teammate of Chastain, one of the fastest cars on the track today, if not the fastest. Byron up my inside now, starting on the outside. Not necessarily, you know, where I wanted to be for stage 2, but look at the lap count. Of course, 9 extra laps here compared to stage 1 with the 16. We now have 25. So if it does go green long enough, there will be green flag pit stops necessary here in Stage 2. Same situation, of course, for Stage 3. Passing Eric Jones now to the back of my teammate of AJ Allmendinger as we head down this back straightaway. Lap 5, continuing to follow him through some traffic. He passes Chris Buescher. I'm going to get past that 17 as well. And then we were both trying to follow through and get past the 99 of Daniel Suarez here. But look at this, an opportunity to get a little bit aggressive here. 3 wide through the middle. But then we have Almirola always going to jump up in front of Suarez, make it easy for me. Basically clears the way. And now I'm going to be 3 wide in the middle with the 13 and the 10 down into turn 3. Christopher Bell now actually out in front here in Atlanta, trying to go back-to-back wins here. Can he pull it off as we continue fighting with Allmendinger? But it wouldn't last too long. Up the inside here, finally on the exit of 2, lap 7, we would be able to get ahead of that 13 now. So we would settle in briefly to this 15th position here. So hopefully we get clear into 3, but the caution is going to fly again here in Atlanta. And immediately take a look. We have extreme differences here in strategy. Many pitting, but just as many staying on track. I decided we're going to be a part of the group that pits, and the main reason for that is tires at Atlanta are everything. So I wanted to come in, take tires, and try to use that to my advantage. We still have 16 to go, and on top of that, not only do the tires help, we can make it to the end of the stage, and the drivers that just stayed out, like Christopher Bell, who appears at speed able to contend with Chastain, well, he can't make it to the end of the stage anymore. Chastain pitted, so I don't understand the call to stay out, to be completely honest, as I get into the back of the 23 McDonald's Camry right there above Wallace. That really checks us up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. If you stayed out right there, you're basically banking on a caution, because you're going to be put into an awkward position where if you pit under green, you're going to go a lap down, and then we're all going to pit at the end of the stage, the drivers that just pitted, and the guys that are going to have to pit after are going to have to stay out to get that wave around to get back on the lead lap. So then they'll be on even more worn tires, and they'll just drop off like a rock. However, we were putting our fresh tires to good use. Look at us trying to follow Chastain specifically through this field, and now passing the 1 of Chastain. Into the top 10 we would go. Ryan Blaney into the mix as well. He was just as fast in these early moments of this restart, but you can see myself going up to the outside. Chastain was right back there with us, bringing Joey Logano, the Penske duo of him and Blaney, as I'm all over the back of the 48 of Alex Bowman. Blaney would just power by on the outside, and then I try to follow. Bowman throws a bit of a block, but I finally go to the outside. 3 wide on the exit of 4. We're going to get past these guys, so looking like stage points is a very legitimate possibility here in Atlanta. We continue on, passing now the 43 of Eric Jones, the 47 of Stenhouse. We passed him earlier. Up to P number 6 now, bringing Kevin Harvick with me to the back of JJ Yaley, and as I would go for a pass on JJ Yaley, Harvick would also be able to go for a pass on me. So I'm going to gain a spot, but also lose a spot to the number 4 of Harvick, who goes by in that Ford Mustang there. So unfortunately, later in the stage, in the final 10 laps, the guys around me that also pitted that were just downright faster than me, well, they were making it known. Here comes Bubba Wallace going for the overtake. Logano, Byron. We knew Byron had speed. We just needed to get him track position. Now, the drivers, though, that stayed out on the last caution, now coming into the pits. There's Chase Briscoe. There you see some others. Christopher Bell, who has a car that's very, very fast, but this strategy might screw him over royally, to put it quite simply. Larson leading. Did Larson pit or not? I can't remember, but it doesn't matter, as the 17 blows the tire for the 2nd race in a row. After Phoenix, it happened as well through the tri-oval. The caution's going to fly. Big hit there. That's Riley Herbst, Daytona 500 winner, into the door of the 17. So you're going to see some drivers are forced to take a wave around there. Bell not being one of them, as he didn't go a lap down yet. But we are going to end up P10 after pit stops. Everybody up here actually loses 3 spots because of drivers like Bell, who were able to stay out. So in reality, when we thought Bell was going to be screwed because of this strategy, he benefited quite tremendously, and so did Martin Truex Jr. And I believe the other one up there, it might be Harrison Burton in 3rd. Yes, it is Harrison Burton in the 21 in the mix for the stage when only a few laps to go on the stage, and we have gotten some stacking up here. My teammate of Haley to the inside, Suarez. Now we find ourselves engulfed. 3 wide in the middle here now. Raptor on the outside, Tootsie's on the inside. Which one would you guys prefer? As we head down into 3, though, here comes Napa Auto Parts Elliott sliding through on the inside. In my mirror, you can see Kyle Busch coming up Kyle Busch has not been as hot to start the season as he was in real life. I don't know if I need to maybe change his rating around, but stay tuned on that. We are with 2 to go on the stage, and we're still 3 wide in the middle. Now we kind of try to get sorted a little bit here as I look in my mirror. I think that's Kurt Busch in the 67 filling it up. Look at Kyle Busch there, contact with the 9, and actually got up into the outside wall on the exit of turn 2. I think there was an awkward moment with Kyle, went up the inside of the 9. Of course, it was really close quarters, and we had just very slight contact. That could have been avoided. I just kind of overcorrected the car. I wouldn't even put that on the 9 of Chase Elliott, but nonetheless, we continue on here in 18th place, trying to claw my way back forward. Christopher Bell leading, but Chastain had run him down. Larson currently in the 3rd position. Logano, I believe it looked like from here, was up in 4th. This is the final lap of the stage, so Bell wins stage number 2, holds off Chastain. We get P18, which in my opinion is quite a bit worse than where this car was kind of destined to be in stage number 2. And again, look at this. The strategy is all over the place in this race. All the drivers that pitted earlier are pitting now, and a bunch of the guys that pitted on the last one are staying out now, but not everybody, because like Bubba's not coming in. It's all over the place. I'm not even going to try to explain it, but I pitted nonetheless, and we are going to give up some track position. We saw the effect the tires had on the last time we had split strategies, so I felt like taking tires is the only logical explanation. However, the 20 of Christopher Bell, he might have just screwed himself again by staying out. I don't know. I'm surprised, because it looks like the Chastain car and the Bell car, those are the 2 fastest cars here today, and really it's kind of making it easy on Chastain, especially if it goes green. We'll have to wait and see what happens. They'll 3 wide down this back straightaway, and just keep your eye on that number 1 car up ahead. It's hard to spot right now, but it's right in front of Kyle Larson, I believe, right there. Yes, it is. So there you got Byron sliding up the track. I'm trying to make it 3 wide with him, as well as my teammate of AJ Allmendinger, who's trying to move his way forward there. And all of the Colleague cars in this vicinity. There's Haley as well as we enter turn 1. You can see us just slowly moving forward. There's some nice progress here. Of course, we're going to see this pack of cars really bunched up, and that's going to allow me right there, exit a turn 2, to slip through. We're going to pass Chastain, get past Austin Dillon, but look at Chastain. He just continues to find pace on that outside. It was so hard to get away from him here. Now down into turn 1, there's Gragson, who's not very thrilled with me right now, and understandably so. Fortunately, we get an easy pass on him and drive away. Truex, we're going to pass him on those older tires and just continue this charge forward, and just trying to, of course, charge as far forward as we can. Chastain now filling up my rear view mirror as I enter the top 10. It wasn't for long, because there goes that 1 car so fast. I mean, look at the pace in that car. It's insane. He would pass Reddick, he would pass Elliott, Suarez. You can see him up in the distance driving away. I mean, the pace in that 1 car is unmatchable, but like I said, the only one that seems to be able to have anything for him is that 20 of Christopher Bell. I would eventually run down this group that Chastain had already picked his way through, and we got past Reddick back into the top 10, now behind Suarez, approaching just 15 laps to go. As you can see, Suarez going for the overtake on Elliott. I'm going to get aggressive. We're going to make it 3 wide with these 2 drivers down this backstretch now. This is to put us, of course, up in 8th place. Here comes Reddick and Larson behind us as well. Great racing here, great strategy. I don't know what else more you could actually want from a NASCAR race. This has been fantastic stuff. Up into 8th place. Now Bubba Wallace in front of us. Chastain was continuing to run down Bell. Of course, he's going to have to pit quite a bit earlier. Everyone still is, it's pretty straightforward. They only have to pit 1 more time. Larson now able to get past me in that number 5 as he would go forward. And now here I am up the inside of the 23 of Bubba Wallace with just 12 laps to go, passing him for 8th place again. So cars behind me. Chase Elliott pitting, a couple cars in front of me pitting as well. And now the pit cycle kicks off. There's Blaney, Christopher Bell, he's in as well. Chastain, Larson just in front of myself, of course. They're probably going to pit before me. Larson comes in lap 56. I'm staying out because I'm banking on staying out because what if a caution comes out? We benefit potentially from it here. So I decided to stay out, and well, there you have it. The caution comes out. So we are going to pit and look at the cars trapped 1 lap down. We could take 2 tires and basically restart 3rd. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to take 4 tires and restart 16th. Reason for that? I can't do anything on 2 tires compared to the cars in front of me, nor, in my opinion, around me. On 4 tires, I can haul the mail past everybody, so we just have to hope that as we get back underway with only 4 laps to go, Bell did eventually get screwed by, of course, that strategy. But basically, we have to hope this pack doesn't bunch up and we can just haul the mail, because if it gets bunched up and we get stuck, then the strategy doesn't work. If we can cruise around these guys, we might even be able to go fight for a potential win. That might be a bit of a stretch, but it helps when it's a 15 of Riley Herbst, who stayed out on track and is leading the way down this back straightaway into turn 3. Yes, the Daytona 500 winner, the Rick Ware driver who's fighting for a top 30 spot in the points to make the playoffs, is leading the race. Haley's up there too. He stayed out, and well, it's worst case scenario for myself. We are 3 wide stuck in the middle. I can't go anywhere. Absolutely insane racing right here in these closing laps here. Now everyone's splitting us left side, right side, damage on the front end of the 2. I think we know where the caution came from, but it's still Herbst leading the way down the backstretch. We're going backwards. We're not losing any positions, of course, because these guys are all laps down as we head down this backstretch towards turn 3, and you can see Herbst is still leading, but Logano was side by side, 2 to go with him, and he still leads into turn 1. Is Riley Herbst about to win again? No, because Logano gets clear and Chastain was coming through with them. Ross Chastain is back into the mix for the win. We are flying past some of these cars on old tires, but it's too little too late. Of course, coming to the final lap, Chastain goes to the lead of the race, and he is gone. Unbelievable pace in that one car here today. There you see Christopher Bell showcasing the pace he had as well. What could have been for the 20, but what it's going to be for the 1 of Chastain as we head down into 1 for the final time, and passing all those slower cars right there with the fresh tire advantage that they didn't have. We get up to P6. It's going to be our first top 10 of the season if we can just hang on for one more set of corners. But Ross, the watermelon toss, Chastain, is going to lead the way through 3 and 4, and he is going to become the first multi-time winner this season, with the 2.5 miles going to him in Vegas and now Atlanta. To the checkered flag, it's going to be a top 5 for my teammate Justin Haley, P6 for myself. A great day for colleague racing. Riley Herbst in 4th. That team pulls a strategy call to get much needed points. That's what you're going to have to, of course, expect to see from that team throughout the remainder of the season, is them doing calls like that to get as many points as they can to, of course, keep them in the top 30 in the points. Big names that were having good days got rough days in the end. Bubba Wallace, Suarez as well. Martin Truex Jr. just didn't have speed. Bowman struggled quite a bit as well. You see the playoff grid following the race, and we had such a good finish there that we come within 21 points of being in the playoffs. I mentioned as well that Noah Gragson is not very happy with us, and we're going to go take a look at our reputation with the Cup Series drivers, and that's where we're going to see that Noah Gragson is less than impressed basically with what actually happened there between himself and myself on the track, which was all my fault. It was all my fault, and you're going to see, yeah, Gragson is pretty upset right there. Yeah, he's only 2 bars away from arrival after that incident. So Gragson is angry. We're going to a road course where the elbows can get out. It could get interesting in Mid-Ohio, where we have Kimi Räikkönen in the field. I will see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Once again, have a great day.